Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Somebody is arriving on the school bus. It's Big Bird, and he's with his friend Abby the fairy. And today we're going to be learning about transportation. A school bus is a form of transportation. And there's something inside the big yellow school bus. It's a pop-up book, and Tiny Treasures got this out of a prize box. What a great prize! It's called Big Bird in the City. We're off to the city, said Big Bird to his friend Abby Cadabby. I want to take as many different kinds of transportation as we can today, Abby. Like this train. What's transportation, Big Bird? Asked Abby. Transportation is what we use to help us move from place to place, said Big Bird. We took a train to the city. Now we'll take a bus to the park. A boat is a kind of transportation on water, said Big Bird. We float in a boat, rhymed Abby. In a moat with a goat. Gee, said Big Bird. We've been on a train, a bus, and a rowboat, all in the same day. Now how do we get home? Let's try this transportation, said Abby. Lumpkin, sumpkin, pumpkin, poof. And Abby and Big Bird were suddenly home on Sesame Street. And there is Oscar the Grouch and Peekaboo. There's our Oscar the Grouch figure. And that story has caused Kitty to be very sleepy. Looks like it's nap time. Thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we're going to open some ultra detailed figures from Sesame Street. And we are so excited to use these figures in our upcoming videos. We have 6 of our Sesame Street friends. I carefully removed each one from the box. First we have Oscar the Grouch, and he has his little worm friend Slimy, who's orange and yellow striped. We also have Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster has already taken a bite out of a chocolate chip cookie. He has crumbs in his mouth and another cookie in his right hand. And Elmo, our smallest figure, is teeny tiny. And here is Bert. Bert has his arms crossed. What do you think he's feeling? Frustrated? Maybe mad? Or impatient? He doesn't look happy, does he? Bert is wearing blue and white shoes. And here's his pal, Ernie. And Ernie is holding his yellow rubber ducky. Ernie is wearing red and white sneakers. And finally, our biggest of all the figures, Big Bird. Look at all of his detailed feathers. There's his orange feet. Who is your favorite? And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we are visiting Elmos World with a special Sesame Street toy. Oops! Sorry, Elmo. Here is Elmo's World, and it looks like Elmo has been coloring with a green crayon. Look at the picture of his friends behind him. Do you know the names of all of those Sesame Street friends? And if we turn the picture around, Elmo drew a picture of two little kids dancing outside. Our family loves to draw together. Tiny Treasures Minnie made this beautiful drawing with pencil crayons. There's birds, a tree, a bush, and a stream. And I drew this one. It's not quite finished. There's a pond, little colorful fairy-like mushrooms, a tree, and a sun. Elmo heads over to the window to look for Mr. Noodle. Maybe he's in the closet. Yes, there's Mr. Noodle. Why does he look so worried and have his hand on his ear? Look what's in the closet. A beach ball, soccer ball, tennis ball, football, baseball, bouncy ball, and volleyball. There are so many different kinds of balls. Let's close the closet door before they all fall out. Here's Elmo's dog. Above is an apple and a blue car. And his pet fish, Dorothy. She's in a glass fish bowl and it's resting on the piano. Let's play a song, Elmo. Elmo knows if he's going to ride his green longboard, he needs to wear a helmet to protect his head, just in case he falls. What is the letter of the day? Let's look at the TV. Tell me what you see. Ball. Book. And boot. The letter B. B. It's now 2:30 and it's time to say goodbye to Elmo in Elmo's World. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We're with our Sesame Street toys and they have their pink inflatable Flamingo Pool toy. This was a gift that came with one of our Lottie dolls. Today, our toys are going to learn to share. Let's fill the sink with some water. And Big Bird will go first since only one toy can fit inside the flamingo at a time. Now, floaty toys should never be used as a safety device. And if you're not a strong swimmer, you should still wear your life jacket while in the floaty toy. Grover and Elmo jump in the pool. Big Bird wants to give one of his other friends a turn. He's going to jump in the pool, but his friends are nearby, so he's going to jump off the other side of the floaty toy. Grover offers for Elmo to ride the floaty toy next. Ooh, it's hard to get in. But he kicks really hard and gets inside the floaty toy. After a few minutes, Elmo wants to give his friend Grover a turn. He hops onto the side of the pool. Grover, it's your turn. Kicks and climbs in. They each got the same amount of time on the floaty toy. It's time to hop out of the pool and dry off. The water goes down the drain into the pipes. And our Sesame Street toys go outside to play. Elmo brought his big ball today. He's not going to play with it by himself. He wants to include his friends and share his ball. They decide to roll the ball to each other in a triangle shape. Grover rolls to Big Bird. Big Bird rolls to Elmo. Ooh! Elmo rolls it to Grover. Great sharing, Elmo. How do you share with your friends? And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We're here with our Elmo and Grover Sesame Street friends. We are going to make some popcorn today. It's one of our favorite snacks to have at home. I don't usually buy a lot of plastic. However, I do have this green and white collapsible plastic bowl that I use for popcorn. I fill it up and then I put the lid on and we have popcorn snack for the week. I use tri-colored organic popcorn. The tri-colored popcorn is high in iron, something our body needs for healthy red blood cells. Pour it into the air popper and we turn it on, and the kids love watching the kernels pop. Inside each kernel is a droplet of water. The machine heats up the kernel, the water turns to steam, and it explodes! Pop! And we have a beautiful fluffy piece of white popcorn. As we wait for Elmo and Grover's bowl to fill with popcorn, we'll go back to London, where we stumbled upon yet another candy shop. There were lots of them on our trip. We just wanted to have a look around because the kids have had enough candy at this point. We walked into Kingdom of Sweets. There was lights, music, and lots of colors. There was a finger-free zone where you only used scoops. I saw a candy bar that reminded me of one of my favorite movies as a kid, the Wonka bar from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And to our surprise, we came across a fresh popcorn to go. This was a machine where you can pick salty or sweet popcorn. Let's give it a try. We decide to go with salty, so we need to push the flashing button that says salty. It's 3 pounds. No change given, so we need the exact amount. Let's read the instructions before we begin. Step 1, put money in the machine. Step 2, push the button. Step 3, pull out the popcorn box. 4, open the box. And 5, put the box in the slot. And this gets hot, so we need to be careful. We count out our change so that we have 3 pounds exactly. This is 1, and we have 2, and 2 50-cent pence, which equal 1 pound. Tiny Treasures Mini is going to put the money in the red slot. As each coin goes in, the machine counts down how much money is still owing to purchase the popcorn.
Choose your favorite flavor. Reverse the box, unfold it, and place it under the popcorn dispenser.
I can hear the kernels moving in the machine. They are now being heated up. Our popcorn will be ready soon. The machine has filled up our box. It's actually overflowing with popcorn. I think we're going to lose a few pieces of popcorn as we pull it out.
Take your popcorn. I hope you enjoy it.
And that is how the popcorn machine worked. Now let's get back to our Grover and Elmo Sesame Street toys to see if their popcorn is done popping. Now remember, tiny fans, popcorn can be a choking hazard to young ones, so make sure you chew properly and have an adult with you when you're snacking on your popcorn. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We are at the ocean. And I love to smell the salty water and the fresh air. And we have Elmo joining us today, and he's standing on a rock. And behind him, he has a little octopus friend because octopus live in the ocean. And you can see all of these rocks that the crashing waves push into the cliffside. And over time, these rocks become really smooth and round. And even some shells get crushed and they turn into sand. The ocean waves are so powerful that I went back to this spot the next day. Look at how many more rocks were brought up from the strong ocean waves and tide. Tiny Treasures has found a shell from a mussel. There isn't a mussel inside, but look at the beautiful rainbow colors. And Elmo has found some kelp. This is called bull kelp. And Tiny Treasures Minnie has found some barnacles. And there are some mussels too. Oh, look, tiny fans. Starfish. How many do you see? And right below are sea anemones. They are soft and squishy. And these ones are safe to touch. So I told Tiny Treasures and Tiny Treasures Minnie to be very gentle. But some sea anemones are poisonous to humans, so please make sure you don't go touching sea life unless you know for sure it's safe. They eat crabs and fish, and we saw a little crab get eaten up by this sea anemone. This crab must have walked into its sticky tentacles. And it stings the crab, and the crab can't move. The sea anemone puts the crab into its mouth, which is in the center. Well, we hope you had fun exploring with us today. Our feet are sandy, and it's time to spray them off. Stay tuned for more ocean fun. And if you love our videos, please support our channel by hitting the subscribe button. It's very important if you haven't done that already, so we can make videos for you every single day. Thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Bye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we're outdoors and we're going to pick some giant grapefruits from this grapefruit tree. They're almost the size of my head. I've got to pull really hard. Oops! I dropped it on the ground, but it's okay. Tiny Treasures is too short to pick that grapefruit. Jump a little higher. Almost. We picked a whole bag of grapefruits. Count with me to see how many we picked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, that one has a large stem. Now we're going to use our grapefruits to make some juice. We pour it through a strainer to remove the pulp and the extra little seeds. And there's the juicer. We'll turn it on in a minute. But first, an adult uses a big sharp knife to cut the grapefruit. Don't ever use a sharp knife like that on your own. Now we need to pick the seeds out. Just get the big ones on the surface. Now it's time to turn on our juicer. The switch is on the side, and then the yellow part will start to spin once it's on. We push half of the grapefruit on to the spinning part, and juice will start to flow out the spout into a cup. It takes a lot of grapefruits to make juice. Do you remember how many grapefruits we picked? It's a lot of grapefruits to juice. Let's count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I went from biggest to smallest. 8 grapefruits. I think it's time that we enjoy a glass of juice. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we have our Sesame Street friends, Ernie, Big Bird, Grover, and Bert. And we have our beautiful rainbow xylophone. Can you tell me what the color of the first ball is? Red, green, blue. Count how many hits with the hammer. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7. Say hi to Bert and Big Bird. What color are they? They are yellow. Say hi to Grover. What color is Grover? He is dark blue. Not light blue, dark blue. And here is Ernie and Kitty. And of course, Kitty needs to sniff the new toy. What color is Ernie? He is orange. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we're with our Sesame Street toys at the carousel. And we're also here with Kitty. I love colorful, fun decorations around my house. And this is one of my favorites, the Mr. Christmas Carousel. And even though it's a Christmas decoration, I keep it around all year. I surround it with tons of different plants as well. I love plants. They're good for our air. They actually clean the air of your house. They absorb carbon dioxide and then release oxygen. I need to make sure that none of the plants are poisonous for animals because sometimes Kitty nibbles on them. Now let's have a closer look at our carousel. We have a whole bunch of different animals, like a polar bear, and Elmo's favorite animal, a big lion. Roar! And of course, carousel always has a horse. This is Big Bird's favorite. And Grover loves the tiger. Now we don't just decorate our house with plants and toys. We also love to make colorful crafts to make our house feel homey. Today we're going to use these round candies. There's orange, red, green, white, and even blue. We grease a cookie cutter with some oil and we place the candies in the shapes. We're doing a heart and a teddy bear today. We heat them up slowly in the oven for 15 minutes and the candies melt. They start to look like stained glass. We let them cool for a couple minutes and then we need to poke a hole in them. We use a chopstick. Put some oil on the end and push a hole through the top. You want to make sure you poke the hole in the ornament before it hardens. Now after a few more minutes, it's hard enough to take out of the cookie cutter. And don't worry if it flows over the edge of the cookie cutter. You just chip those little pieces away. Looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put some string through the hole and then I glaze them with a resin so they aren't sticky. We let them dry for at least 2 days and then you can hang them in the window so the sunlight can shine through. Now remember, anytime you're doing a craft, especially with something sharp or with heat, you always get a parent to help you. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We have our Sesame Street friends Elmo, Grover, Abby, and Cookie Monster, and they're on the hunt for a big, huge Easter egg. It's very colorful. Elmo's going to see if the Easter egg is near the slide. It's a big yellow slide, but I don't see an Easter egg. Oh, Elmo's gonna go down. Whee! Grover is going to have a look on the swings. I don't see an Easter egg, but there is an insect. It's a fly. Boy, it likes walking on the swing, doesn't it, Grover? And there's no Easter egg on the other swing either. Cookie Monster is going to go look at the gnome and toadstool. Is there an Easter egg behind the gnome? Nope, I don't see anything. Abby can fly way up high and get a great big view of the yard. Let me know if you see anything, Tiny fans. Did you see something? Abby has spotted it. There's the egg. Oh, it's so beautiful. It has eggs printed all over it. And this egg is made of paper. And we can reuse it over and over. Tiny Treasures Minnie grabs the egg. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh, it must be delicate because it's wrapped in fabric and tissue paper. It's an Easter bunny and he's holding a colorful egg and wearing a purple top hat. Easter Bunny must have a treat for our toys. Oh, there's Puppy. It's an Easter basket. Oh no, but it looks like the handle broke off. Oh, it did. It was so delicate and it broke into 3 different pieces. Oh, there's one more egg in here. Well, we'll have to glue it and put it back together. Oh, Cookie Monster and Elmo fell down. The wind must have blown them over. There we go. There are 4 eggs, 1 for each of our toys. Tiny Treasures Mini is going to hand out the eggs. Who will get the first egg? Cookie Monster gets the blue egg. Next. Oh, it's going to Elmo, a red polka dot egg. And then the yellow and blue striped to Grover. Oh, and of course the beautiful purple one for Abby. 4 eggs for 4 of our toys. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye.